All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Because right now, most people are treating the newly dropped Grok 4.3 like it's just another basic chatbot, and they're totally missing the multimodal powerhouse hiding just beneath the surface. Everyone is losing their minds over tools like ChatGPT and Claude, but then they log into Grok, type a normal question, get a normal answer, and just assume it's another AI in a hoodie. They are completely missing what this system is actually built for. Well, today, we're changing that. We're stripping away the fluff and focusing exclusively on the specific tools, features, and workflows that will actually change how you work on a daily basis.
So here is the game plan for today. We are going to systematically unlock its true potential. We'll quickly cover setting up your foundation, mastering the 4 distinct reasoning modes, tapping into real-time search, leveraging vision and voice, and finally, deploying some serious pro-level AI workflows.
Okay, part 1, setting the ultimate foundation. Let's look at your web workspace setup.
For the absolute cleanest workflow, you've got to make sure your main entry point is grok.com, not the mobile app. Once you're signed in, you need to establish this 3-step foundation literally immediately. This ensures Grok remembers your preferences and your project context across every single conversation, so you never have to repeat yourself. First, write those custom instructions. This is the persistent context Grok carries everywhere. Tell it who you are, what you do, and exactly how you want it to respond to you. Then just turn memory on. With memory activated, Grok seamlessly remembers the details, the recurring topics, even the specific people you work with across different projects. Look, doing this takes maybe 30 seconds, but I promise it's going to save you 10 minutes of tedious context setting in literally every future conversation.
Moving right along to part 2, mastering the 4 modes. It's time to choose the right engine.
We absolutely need to stop leaving our prompts on auto. Here is your new mental checklist to keep in mind. Use auto as your basic router for about 70% of your daily tasks. Need quick formatting or a fast brainstorming session? Hit fast. Now, when you need deep business analysis, switch to expert. It takes a second longer, but it engages a much deeper reasoning stack. And finally, use beta for those high-stakes, defensible research tasks where you absolutely need cited sources. Now check out this incredibly specific trick for expert mode. Adding this exact phrase, "What would have to change to flip your answer," forces the AI to actually commit to a defensible position, instead of just handing you some generic wishy-washy essay. If you ask Grok to compare a few business strategies and say pick one, you'll usually get a standard, "well, consider these factors" kind of response. But when you ask what would have to change to flip its answer, you force that reasoning engine to draw a line in the sand. It has to deeply analyze the variables and commit to a stance. It's an absolute game changer for decision-making.
All right, part 3, real-time search and context. Let's unlock real-time access.
You can really see the stark difference here between the amateur way of asking for information and the pro way. The pro way forces Grok to pull cited sources, fresh sentiment, and structured data all in a single pass. A bad prompt, that gets you something that reads like a dusty, outdated Wikipedia article. But a good prompt turns Grok into a real-time researcher. It's going to read the mainstream press, pull developer complaints straight from X, summarize the overall sentiment, and give you clickable citations for every single claim it makes.
These 3 specific search patterns are absolute gold. I'm especially talking about the contrarian scan, which helps you find actual signal and smart disagreements inside really noisy online hype cycles. With Trend Pulse, you can ask it to search posts from just the last 48 hours and group them by theme, just to see what everyone's actually talking about right now. Sentiment Delta lets you compare how opinions have shifted week over week. But that contrarian scan, that is how you break right out of the echo chamber. You ask Grok to find smart, substantive pushback on X about a trending topic. Not trolls, but real, thoughtful counterarguments. Hands down, it is the best way to stress test your own opinions. And because of Grok's massive context window, you can drop an entire 30-page industry report or, hey, even a complete codebase directly into the chat. It will instantly cross-reference claims and find contradictions. You aren't just summarizing a chapter anymore, you are loading the entire book. You can upload a massive document, ask Grok to find every claim about a specific topic, list the exact page numbers, and then explicitly flag any claim that contradicts another claim in that very same document. What used to take an entire afternoon of tedious manual research now literally takes 2 minutes.
Moving right into part 4, vision, video, and voice. We are taking this way beyond just text on a screen.
Try dropping a screenshot of a competitor's landing page or a UI mockup into Grok along with this exact prompt. You instantly get a free, incredibly sharp design and conversion critique. Grok's vision model is seriously robust enough to read charts, diagrams, and really complex visual layouts. You can literally take a screenshot of a website, drop it in the chat, and ask it to identify the target audience, the strongest hook, and the weakest part of the funnel. It's essentially like having a high-end teardown service right at your fingertips.
Over inside the Imagine tab, you can organically refine an image generation and then magically animate that exact composition into a 10-second video clip with just one single click. So if you're mid-conversation, you can just ask Grok in plain English to generate an image. You tweak it line by line, like make it darker or make it more playful. But if you head over to the dedicated Imagine workspace, you can craft highly specific prompts for cinematic shots. And once you have an image you love, you literally just click the Make Video button. No new tools, no clunky model switching. Grok takes that exact lighting and framing and animates it into a breathtaking, living video clip in seconds.
Now imagine firing up voice mode on the mobile app while you're out for a walk. You can literally debate strategies with a customized AI persona and then return to your desk with the entire conversation fully transcribed and ready to act on. And we are not talking about basic speech-to-text here. This is low-latency, real-time conversation. You set the speed, you choose from 6 different voices, and you pick a personality preset. Maybe you want an argumentative critic to really push you, or just a laid-back brainstorming assistant. You talk to it exactly like a real person to stress test your ideas, and when you sit back down to your computer, all of that valuable context is saved and waiting for you.
And finally, Part 5, Pro-Level AI Workflows. It is time to deploy some automated tools.
We need to graduate from treating Grok like a simple chat interface. By combining automated background tasks, clean JSON outputs, and inline Python data analysis, you effectively have a junior analyst running your infrastructure right inside the app. Let's talk tasks. You can actually schedule Grok to run recurring prompts in the background, like delivering a customized industry news brief to you every single Monday morning. Then there's structured outputs. By simply adding return as JSON to your prompt, Grok formats the data perfectly so you can pipe it directly into a spreadsheet or Zapier with 0 formatting errors. Add in its ability to write and execute Python code right in the chat to analyze a CSV and generate charts, you have just replaced hours of manual data labor.
This is exactly how the pro community operates, using role-based chains. By linking these distinct personas together in a single prompt, you can orchestrate a massive, multi-stage research deliverable in just about 3 minutes. You aren't just asking a generic question. You're explicitly telling Grok to act like Harper to do dense, citing research, then switch to Benjamin for logical step-by-step analysis, and finally adopt the Lucas persona to ruthlessly critique its own conclusions. You are effectively commanding an entire simulated team to tackle your prompt from every conceivable angle.
These 3 core workflows cover 80% of what any professional actually needs to do in a given week. When executed correctly, they will save you hours of manual labor. For research, you use expert mode with that role-based chaining to get incredibly dense synthesis. For content creation, you keep your drafting in the exact same chat window as your research, so Grok doesn't hallucinate or lose its citations. And for analysis, you just drop your raw PDFs or CSVs directly into the engine, explicitly inviting Grok to flag any claims where it has low confidence. That way, you always know the data is completely trustworthy.
The gap between people who get real value out of AI and those who don't is simply taking action. So pick one of these specific workflows and deploy it on a real task on your desk today. Seriously, don't just watch this explainer and move on. Whether it's setting up a recurring background task, stress testing your landing page with vision mode, or running a contrarian scan on the latest industry news, just pick one feature and build the habit. When you start treating Grok like the infrastructure it actually is, your productivity is absolutely going to skyrocket. So what's it going to be? Which workflow are you deploying first?